Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Tonight I just wanted to talk about the people of Monaro's concern about two aspects of energy. Firstly, the electorate of Monaro has consistently over many years been concerned about global warming, and we see that as a reflection of what the rest of New South Wales society, including country New South Wales, believes, that they do want to see global warming tackled and greenhouse gases reduced. But it's also particularly pertinent because we have the snowfields, and a significant amount of our economic benefit comes from the snow. And obviously global warming presents a threat to that industry. So they want to see action on climate change, but they also want to see power prices which are not too high. And I've been watching with interest the lead up to the likely to be called very soon federal election and the contest over who is likely to have lower power prices. And I want to say to the people of Monaro and to the rest of New South Wales that the Coalition and Mr Dutton's prescription for lowering power prices is nothing more than a fantasy. 2036 is when he thinks he would get these imaginary nuclear power plants online, and those would be the most expensive form of power production in New South Wales. In contrast, Labor is moving to ensure that we are making the transition to net zero as quickly as possible. But the thing that's actually driving power prices higher at the moment is not the cost of producing the power from renewables, it's the capital cost of the various energy transmission systems which we need to actually deliver it there. And those are going to be largely built before any future Dutton government can get to building its nuclear power plants. So there is no chance of them in any near future lowering the cost of those to consumers. Things like Energy Connect, HumeLink, the Central West Arana network will all be built before they get to their prescription for where the future energy sources might be. So the real concern that people should be looking at, and that future federal governments should have, is the way that consumers are asked to pay for those energy networks. And it's my view, having looked a bit at this for some time when I was the CEO of the National Irrigators Council and involved in the Agricultural Energy Task Force, that currently the AER, in making its recommendations about the return that the networks are allowed to get, is allowing the energy networks to get well over an economically justifiable return for their network investments. They allow them to get a return that ignores the fact that they are operating in a monopoly environment when they build these, that there is no choice about using them. And so they are, and as a number of bits of work that were done by the task force I was involved with found, they are actually getting an economic return which is well above what is justifiable and comparable to many parts of the world. So I'd suggest that those who want to see future federal governments look at this should be urging our future federal governments to be looking at the way the AER makes this analysis and then charges back. And we've seen that demonstrated in the last couple of weeks by the recommendations which would see New South Wales electricity prices go up again because of the returns which the AER is judging that the network should be allowed to get. So, Mr Speaker, that, in my way of thinking, is the practical way of looking at those components of electricity prices. The Federal Coalition's prescription of looking at 2036 for nuclear reactors is nothing more than a fantasy designed to divert attention from the things which need to be done immediately, both to achieve the transition to net zero and to keep power prices lower over the medium term. Now, Mr Speaker, while I'm on that topic, I represent a semi-rural electorate, and I want to emphasise the fact that some of the debate we see over land use in New South Wales is not based on fact. In fact, if we were to power all Australia's energy needs via solar power, and if it was all in New South Wales, it would take up 0.15% of the total land area in New South Wales. If it was a more reasonable New South Wales's needs, it would take up only around 30,000 hectares. So if your average farm size is around about 4,000 hectares, then that's only 8 or 9 farm sizes to actually power the whole of the energy needs of New South Wales with solar. So I'd urge people to look a bit more rationally at some of these debates about this. Solar and farming can coexist, and we can make the energy transition without the extra cost that the federal coalition wants to put on us.